I feel like I look orange. How do I fix that? I need thee, oh, I need thee. Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a story time today. This is my first story time and I'm excited to tell this story. I feel like anyone that knows me personally has wanted this story because it's such take my shoes off. It's such a it's a sad story kind of, but like I'm over it now, so I can tell it. So this story is all about the time that I got left on my wedding day. Yeah. Fucking bastard.
Welcome to my channel.
Story is so multifaceted. Let's start from the top. So rewind. I got left at the altar in 2008. Let's rewind to like 2007. 2007, I started dating this guy. No, I started dating him in 2006. 2007, it starts to get like really serious, whatever. Did he want to know? This started off in 2006. I started dating the guy that I was engaged to in 2006 when I was still in high school. Fast forward a little bit, we're getting really serious, blah, blah, blah. Now we're all working together at this same fast food place. It's me, him, this girl that I thought was my friend, and some other friends or whatever. So we all have this job at Sonic. I'm dating him. Next thing you know, I come into work one day. I'm skipping around a lot because this story is a full story. And I don't know if I have that kind of time. Anywho, I'm dating him. We're all working at Sonic. And we had a mutual friend that was a female. And I noticed that they started getting a little too, like, close. We all used to go places together. Like there was car shows every Wednesday and different stuff like that. Since I was still the only minor at the time because my boyfriend was older than me, sometimes my parents were like, you can't go somewhere, and then they'll end up going to whatever it is, like together. So I started feeling some kind of way, and I would tell him, I'm like, I feel like she likes you, you know? And he'd be like, no she don't, no she don't. And then that ends up making me look crazy. And like that's one thing, this is off topic to the side, but that's one thing I don't like about guys. They will get manipulated by females because a female will act like, oh, I'm such an innocent friend, oh, I'm just your innocent friend. But then as soon as you're having issues with your girl, she'll be like, oh, I would never do something like that, or what, you know, and then weasel her way into your relationship. And then guys don't see it. So when your girl is like, hey, I don't want you to talk to her anymore, or I feel some kind of way about her, you're like, you're regurgitating what that girl told you. Like, you're just being insecure because that's some crap she probably told you. Like, oh, if your girl doesn't want you to have female friends, she's probably insecure. It's like, no, sis, we're just also females and we know how y'all get down. Anywho, so they start hanging out one-on-one or whatever, and I'm starting to tell him like, hey, like, don't hang out with her like that. I think she likes you, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, we're just friends and whatever. Fast forward, one day I'm at work and I'm talking to him on the phone, and she's like, is that him on the phone? Talking about like my dude, is that him on the phone? And I'm like, yeah, like, because mind you, at this point, I'm oblivious. I don't know nothing for a fact. I have my intuition, but I know nothing for a fact. So I'm like, yeah, it's him. And she starts screaming, like, tell her, tell her. And I'm like, tell her what? Tell her you said that you're going to leave her and you love me. So now imagine, like, how devastated I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my dude. We've been together for years. And now, boom, y'all not even cheating. She says you're leaving me for her and y'all are in love. whatever. I remember I just like went into the bathroom at work and cried about it. You know, whatever, I'm sensitive. Can't be gangster all the time. So I went into the bathroom and I just cried about it. And by the time I was done crying about it, I think her shift was over and she already left. So we didn't have to end up working together that day. So that was that. He comes to my house later. We talk about it and he admits, you know, what he was doing, but now it's done, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, he's still messing with her. He's still messing with her. And she's constantly, you know, antagonizing me at work and, you know, blah, 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 talking her crap. But my dad, I told my parents about the situation. And my dad was like, well, don't be at work fighting over no dude. Like, don't make this situation ruin what you have going for yourself. Because at that time I had a car. I had to pay my car insurance. My parents already had me paying my own bills from when I was like 15. So he's like, all I know is don't let them get you so out of character where now you ain't got no car. You don't got nothing, basically, because you want to fight at work and lose your job. And he's like, remember the bills that you pay. Remember the things that you got to take care of. I'm like, okay, you're right. So at work, I let her talk her crap, you know, and I go home and cry about it, whatever, you know. But at one point, I had enough, and I was like, anywhere I see you, and this is where the Walmart fight about to come in. I'm like, anywhere I see you, I'm like, whether it be at church, whether it be the mall, wherever you at, like, it's gonna be on site, period. So, well, I'm such a fool when I think about it. I'm over it now, but I am such a fool when I think about it. So, fast forward a little bit, I got a new job. Did I get a new job? I got a new job, I did. I was working at Target. And then I got fired from Target too. And then that's where my juvenile record came in. But that's a whole nother story if y'all are interested to know about my juvenile record. I was doing a lot, boo. But anyway, so I had another job. I was driving home from Target when I get a phone call from my then fiance. And he's like, hey, do you still want to fight so-and-so? And I'm like, hell yeah, I told her it was on site. You know, I didn't forget. And he's like, well, she's at Walmart right now. And I'm like, say less. Drive up to Walmart, skirt, pull up in the parking lot, and there she goes. And she jumps in her car for a second and just like, she just moves over like a couple feet, like to get away from me. And then she gets out of her car and start talking trash. And I was like, boo-boo, I'm still young and agile. Like, I can run. Probably couldn't do that at this point in my life, but back then I could. So I run and I literally like football tackle her back into her car, and then we start tussling. And we fighting in the car. We start off in the driver's seat. We end up in the passenger seat. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, she knocked my contact out, and that's what made me mad. And I had a little scratch on my face, and that's what made me mad. And then I went into overdrive, and then, you know, had to give her that work. But let me tell you what this fool did. So we fighting and whatever, and I'm on top of her, bomb, 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 punching her up. Why my little boyfriend, fiance, whatever y'all want to call him, go pull me out the car? Pull her. If I'm in a fight and you my friend, don't hold me back. Don't hold me back. I mean, I don't fight now as an adult, but back then, don't hold me back so now they can get free hits on me. No, you pull them. You pull them back. Let me get free hits on them. And then, even worse, he pulls me out the car and he pulls me onto the floor. But like I said, back then I was a dancer. My agility was on an all-time high during my peak season. And I was able to just jump back up onto my legs like a gazelle, because I think gazelles jump. And I was able to do that gracefully, get back on my feet, and continue to whoop that ass. At this point, a crowd is now gathering in the Walmart parking lot. We're fighting. The police have been called. The police are on their way. And the Walmart crowd was a real one, because I remember I started walking away to like go back to my car so that I could get out of there, because I was taught to run from the cops. So I'm like, let me get back in my car and get out of here. Don't want to get in trouble. And the Walmart crowd, they start yelling like, behind you, behind you. So she's running up. She's off the ground at this point, because I had A-Town stomped her face. Because, you know, I'm from New York, and if somebody go down on the ground, that's just what you're supposed to do. But anywho, I do not advocate violence, by the way. This is an old story. Like I said, 2006, 2007, 2008. But anyways, So they're like, behind you, behind you. So I turn around, I see her coming at me. I grab her in the headlock, right? Boom, boom, boom. You know, I'm known for doing some spicy things in fighting situations. So I got her that 1-2 piece combo special from Popeyes, like y'all heard y'all people like. And I just start ramming her head into my car. Anyway, so after a few good head rams, here comes the police. So I throw her on the floor and I drive off out of their skirt. So that was the Walmart fight. But then I felt really stupid because you would think that if I just fought this girl and my dude was the one that called me up there to fight her, you should have been in your car trailing right behind me, like coming to my house, like making sure I'm good, right? I get home and I'm looking, where you at? Because I don't live far from Walmart. It took me like 2 minutes to get home. So I'm like, where he at? I'm calling his phone. Where you at? He's still at Walmart. He up there with the girl. The girl filed a police report. What? But luckily I was underage and she was overage, so nothing really happened with that. She tried to say I tried to kill her. She stopped breathing or something, and then at one point she tried to say she got jumped. It's like, no, it was only us. But that was the Walmart fight. So let's fast forward to like really get to the meat of the story when I got left at the altar. So that same dude, keep in mind that girl that I fought at Walmart, right? Fast forward to 2008. The fight happened, I think, in 2007. We got together in 2006. All right, so now we're in 2008. And we're engaged. We're going to get married. We have our marriage license. So that means we already went to the courthouse and we already did our paperwork, and they already called us back and gave us our official marriage license, the paper that we need to get signed on our wedding day by like a minister or a notary or something like that. I think a notary can sign it. I don't know who can sign it, but whoever is available to sign it, So we have that. We have our wedding date and blah, blah, blah. We were just going to get married at the courthouse, like just with our parents and whatever. So I'm with my mom the morning of, and like we're preparing and everything, but I just felt some kind of way. I'm like, man, I have not heard from this guy. Like, I haven't heard from him in like 24 hours. So I'm like, what's going on? So we on our way. Luckily the courthouse is like right around the corner from my house. Everything was right around the corner from my house. I lived in a very central location. But anyway, I just felt like we shouldn't go inside, like at the courthouse after we got our gas and whatever. And I'm calling him, like no answer. So I'm like, if he's not answering the phone, what are the odds of him just being in there ready to go, you know? So I didn't go in there, didn't hear nothing from him. The rest of the day goes, I'm texting him, calling him, nothing. The next day comes back and he just hits me up and he's like, oh, sorry, you know, I couldn't do it, you know. But come to find out, the reason that he couldn't do it is because he's still messing with that other girl. Literally he has her under the assumption that they're boyfriend and girlfriend. So it's like he can't tell his girlfriend that he's married. And then also later on I found out that there was more. Like he had a whole double, triple, quadruple life. I even found out at one point I could have gotten jumped at the fair because there was some girls there, and somebody said, oh, there goes so-and-so's girlfriend. And the girl's like, what? Like, yeah, that's so-and-so's girlfriend. And she's like, I'm so-and-so's girlfriend. Oh, I'm about to whoop her ass, which is stupid. Why you gonna whoop my ass? And I don't even know you. You don't even know me. But the person that pointed me out reneged and was like, nah, my bad. I'm tripping. That's not her. I don't know who that is. So I'm like, I was this close to getting beat up. So that guy, like, he had brought a lot of drama into my life because before him, I never had drama. Like in high school, I didn't have drama. I never got in no fights in high school. I never had no issues in high school with people because I'm a kind of person, I always keep to myself. I always keep 1 or 2 friends. Like, I've never been like a person to be in the mix. I'm kind of square. Like, if you know me personally, I'm square as AF. I've never drank before. I've never smoked before. Like, I'm just so I stayed out of drama. But when I was with him, I was fighting at Walmart. I was switching jobs. I was like in the mess. So now to put the cherry on top of everything, he stands me up the day of, didn't tell me anything like beforehand. And after all of that, he has the nerve to tell my dad to sign our marriage license. because he got stationed in Japan. So when he got there and he ain't had no hoes, I guess he was lonely. So he's like, tell your dad to sign, 'cause my dad's a pastor or minister or whatever. He's like, tell your dad to sign our marriage license so that we can be married and that you can come out here and live on base with me. And I'm like, no, like, nah, I'm good. Because at this point, the separation was doing me good, because when I tell you I cried that thing out, like that was my first time in life having emotional pain feel like physical pain, like letting him go and purging him out of my system. That was, and first off, I'm 5'10", he was like 5'6". Not that there's anything wrong with dating somebody that's shorter than you, but that lets you know that it was real love, you know. So I had to completely like purge him out of my system, like boo hoo cry. And then it was like, after all of that, it's like, no, I don't want you back. No, I don't want a forged marriage license. It's like, we already had a forged engagement ring, because when he bought my ring, basically he gave me his debit card and told me to buy one online. So it's not like he went and bought it himself and like proposed to me the right way. We didn't do it like that. So it was almost as if I was just taking the crumbs and the whatever spare crap he wanted to give me. And I'm happy that I got that kind of heartbreak out the way very young, because what I see is a lot of people go through that, and some people go through that like later on, like mid-20s, 30s even. And I'm glad that for me, I was 17, 18 years old, like I got that out my system. So like ever since then, when I've had other boyfriends, and I never had like my mom is texting me. I never had I never had no kind of pain like that afterwards. And yeah, so I wasn't gonna forge no marriage documents just to go be with somebody that wanted me when they wanted me, you know. And for the younger females out there, any female out there watching this, I feel like we all always know the signs of a good guy versus a bad guy. But sometimes we wish that the bad guy would see something in us to change. So we overlook the BS, hoping that one day he's gonna come to his senses. Like one day he's gonna see that I'm enough. I do think that there are certain guys that are not bad guys, but make mistakes. And those guys, I feel like they are worth, you know, I had a whole piece of like lettuce or something on my lip. I hope it was not there this whole time, because I just felt it. But I was saying, I feel like sometimes there are good guys that just make mistakes, or they haven't learned yet, or they haven't matured yet. And I feel like those guys sometimes are worth working with, because I don't know, it sounds bad, because some guys, you'll know, like they're dogs, like they're just serial cheaters, like they're not gonna change. Like even if they got married, they're going to keep like messing around and doing their thing. And then there's other guys that they just haven't matured yet, or they're just not bad. I don't know how else to explain it other than just knowing. But that is my story time about the time that I was left on my wedding day. I hope that you liked my story time, and if you did or did not, but as long as you watched it, still like, subscribe, and comment.